Hello everyone, welcome back. And in Barcelona's final game of the season, they win 2-1 against Sevilla, which also, it's a bittersweet moment because it officially means that Xavi is no longer the coach of Barcelona. And, whatever you thought about him, obviously he didn't have the best season. He's definitely not been perfect. He's made a lot of mistakes, but it's been a good ride. It's been, 2.5 years with Chavi as the head coach. So it was nice to see Barcelona in their last game with him in charge get the win. And I think it was also really nice to see Fermin Lopez score the winner because, of course, he's one of the players that Xavi has put the most trust in this season. He's someone that I think a lot of coaches would have looked past, just coming back from a loan from the third division of Spain, just to be introduced into the first team, have a preseason with the club, and then officially trust him and give him a ton of starts and minutes this season. For him to score the goal, and a great goal at that, and then celebrate with Chavi, that was also really nice to see. And I think, Chavi, like I've talked about, is that connection with La Masia. I feel like it's been brought back to Barcelona from Chavi, and players like Fermin Lopez, Hector Fort, Kubarsi, Lamine Yamal. There are some players that, of course, I think it would have been inevitable when they would have made it to the first team. But there are some players that I think Xavi, he's given them that opportunity. And so Fermin Lopez to be the one to score the last goal with Xavi in charge, that was really just nice to see. And overall, there's not too much to take from this game because it didn't really mean anything. It was just nice that no player got injured. You just wanted everyone to get good minutes. Vitor Roque coming in, Ferran Torres, Joao Felix. Everyone was kind of splitting time. It was nice to see that. And Lewandowski, I don't think he was very happy to come off early, but that's what's supposed to happen in the last game of the season. You just want to make sure that everyone can get through it healthy. Pedri, I was surprised that he played a full 90 minutes, but it was nice to see him back in action. He looked very good today. And yeah, I think everyone's really preparing for the Euros and the Copa America. There's a lot of stuff going on in the summer, so it was just nice to see everyone make it through that game healthy. The result didn't really matter that much, but like I said, for Xavi's last game, it was nice to see Barcelona get the win for him. And now it's a new chapter at Barcelona. Hansi Flick is going to take over in the summer. And I think some of the plans that, we were talking about, some of the players that I think Xavi was going to sign, and, some players like Fermin Lopez, Ansu Fati, I think they were going to have a different role in the team when Xavi was in charge compared to now Hansi Flick. I think he might change some things up. I don't know if he's going to have that same power and voice that Xavi wanted to try and have at Barcelona. I don't know if he's going to do a lot of the things that maybe Laporta wants him to do, which I think would include playing Vitor Roque and maybe playing Ansu Fati. We don't know. But yeah, I think there are a lot of different moves that are going to be made in the summer. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be talking about it this entire summer, so I'm really excited for that. And, it's the last game. I know this season did not go very well. Xavi has made his mistakes along the way. But it's just nice that this season is over. And, I think there were some good performances. There were some positive individuals from the team. But overall, the team just definitely underperformed. So it's nice that the season is over and it's a new chapter for the club. I think my next video is going to be talking about Hansi Flick and the players that I think he is going to try and bring in. Some of the players that he might look to offload in the summer. Or like I said, a player like Ansu Fati, I could see him actually having an impact on the team with a new coach because Xavi, I think players like Eric Garcia, Ansu Fati, they had different, long-term plans for Barcelona. I think Ansu Fati, Xavi didn't see him at the club. Eric Garcia, he wanted to bring him back. And I think for Hansi Flick, I think it's going to be the opposite. I think Ansu Fati is going to come back to the club in the summer. I don't think Eric Garcia is going to be a part of his team, but I could be wrong about that. It's just kind of initial thoughts. So we're going to see some more rumors and some more reports going about talking about who Hansi Flick wants to bring into the club. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think Xavi, like I said, definitely hasn't been perfect, but I think overall, I think he can look back on his time at Barcelona as being successful because I think he brought the feeling back to the club. Under Ronald Koeman, I think the team just looked all over the place, and there was a ton of blame going on the players. But Xavi, since day one, he said, "I will defend you all until the last second in the press conferences. I will never put the blame on you." And he stayed true to his word. I think that's what he brought back is that togetherness that Barcelona have. And like I said, the season didn't end the way that we wanted it to. I think I got a comment that basically since that red card in the Champions League, that was kind of when the momentum shifted in the season. And I agree with that because I think things were looking positive. It looked like Barcelona were on an upward trajectory. Then that red card, it kind of changed some things. But I think this summer is going to be a big one for Barcelona. And I'm excited for them to get back on the right track. But yeah, Xavi, I think overall, I'm really happy that he rejoined the club. I know right when he joined, I just knew it was going to be difficult for the club to offload him because of how big of a legend he was. And there were always going to be mixed emotions about him leaving, but I think overall he was successful at the club. He went and won 2 trophies. He brought that connection back to La Masia, and overall I just think he brought that togetherness that Barcelona had been missing in the few coaches before him. And now I think Xavi has paved the way for Hansi Flick, and hopefully Hansi Flick can elevate Barcelona and take them to the next level because, like I've said in all my videos, I think Xavi, he took the club to the level that he could take them at, and then it went a little bit down after that. And it was the right time to bring in a new coach. But it was also really nice to see Barcelona in their last game under Chavi get the win. I really would have liked to see the club announced that Chavi was leaving before the last game when Barcelona were playing at home in Barcelona. That would have been really nice to see because I think the fans would have given him a standing ovation. They would have given him the love that he deserved. And even though, the fans at Barcelona that traveled to Sevilla for this game, I'm sure they made it known how much they respected Xavi. And of course, he knows how many Barcelona fans are really happy with him returning to the club and taking it to a level that we hadn't seen in the couple years before he joined. And the way this season ended, I don't think any of us could have predicted this. Lamine Yamal playing almost every single minute, being one of Barcelona's best players. We knew how much talent he has, but to make that impact on the first team and be almost the best player on the pitch every single game that he was playing for Barcelona, almost every single game. And then, Pau Cubarsí, who just made his debut in January or February, and then coming on and almost not missing a game since that moment. Yes, he's going to be a part of Barcelona's first team next season. Players like Hector Fort, Marc Guiu, Fermin Lopez, Marc Casado, I think, they might have the ability to become crucial players next season. Well, Fermin Lopez, I think he definitely will because he's shown his worth. And, Xavi, he put a lot of trust in Fermin Lopez, and I think Fermin Lopez has paid it back and more. So I'm really excited going into next season. I know, like I said, the season didn't end the way that we wanted it to, but it's just nice that, Xavi, he got the send-off that I think he deserved a little bit more again. I don't like the way that Barcelona's board treated him, but it was nice that he got a win in his last game. And as he said, the door is always open. I think he could possibly come back to Barcelona. I don't know if at some point be an assistant coach or be part of the board. We don't exactly know what's going to go on, but I could see it at some point in the future. If he goes out and gets more experience, he can come back to the club as a better manager. And I would really like to see that because, Xavi at Barcelona, it just sounds like that's what's supposed to happen. I think I saw on the commentary that he joined the club when he was 11 years old. And, almost 20 years later, I think he did the same thing to Louis van Gaal. I'm pretty sure was the coach of Barcelona, and he was leaving the club. Xavi scored, and then I think he went over and hugged him. And then, 20 years later, Fermin Lopez goes and hugs Xavi, who's now the coach of Barcelona. So, everything just went full circle. I can't confirm that story for sure. I'm going to look more into that, but I heard that from the commentary. So if I'm wrong about that, you should blame ESPN's commentaries. But, it was just really nice to see that. And Xavi, getting a hug from Fermin Lopez, it just shows how much the players of the club really respected him. But yeah, there's really not too much to take away from this game because, there wasn't really much to play for. You're just glad that everyone was fit and healthy and no one got injured in this game. Yeah, Ter Stegen obviously should have done a lot better on that goal because El Nassiri, he only had a nutmeg to be able to score from that angle unless you put it in the roof of the net. Ter Stegen just made it easy for him. That's a save that he should be making. But then Koundé also had a very poor performance. I don't know what was going on with him today. So the commentary also said that he was still playing for Sevilla. But yeah, I'm not going to look too far into that because in the end, it's just the last game of the season. There wasn't a trophy on the line. So you just want to get through that game, with some match fitness. It's basically like a practice match at that point. Even though there is pride involved, you still want to win every game. And because it was Xavi's last game, I'm sure the players also had more of an incentive to win. And Pedri, of course, he was great today. And I think people forget, when he's not playing, how good he is. He's one of the best players in the world in his position. And that's an absolute certainty in my opinion. I don't think I'll change my mind on that ever. Unless, of course, his form drops. But, once he comes back, that talent, it just doesn't leave. He's still there. He still has it. And that, the eye test that he passes that every single time. He's just so good and so fun and enjoyable to watch. Fermin Lopez, of course, man of the match performance. That was great from him. And yeah, Copa America and the Euros are coming up in the summer. I'm really excited to watch all of Barcelona players in that competition. And we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, just like I said, I'm not going to look too far into this game because you're just glad that everyone was healthy and no one got injured in this game. It was also nice to see Vitor Roque, Joao Felix, Joao Cancelo, possibly, well, not Vitor Roque, but Cancelo and Felix. That's possibly their last game for Barcelona. It was nice to see them, play in their last game, and I think overall they have contributed to Barcelona's season, so it was nice. It was nice for them to get the last game too. And also a bit off topic, but some interesting news that Pep Guardiola, he's possibly going to leave in 2025 from Man City, and some Barcelona fans are saying, bring him back to the club. He said if Barcelona ever called, he would answer and he would come back to the club. But I think he meant that more as, a board of director role, not as a coach. I think he's basically said that, and I think, I'm not sure if it was the media that was so toxic, and I think it was just the environment. He just doesn't want to be the head coach of Barcelona again. I think it's a very little chance that he would ever rejoin the club as the manager. I would really like to see that, of course, but I just don't see it happening. And, Hansi Flick, if everything works out, I hope he's staying for longer than 1 year. Obviously, if Pep Guardiola is free and wants to join the club, though, that changes things. But, yeah, Hansi Flick, I think we should back him. I think he has a lot of exciting ideas. Maybe he can be the change that Barcelona needs to get back to the top level. I hope that's the case, and I hope Barcelona, they have the financial ability to back him and give him the signings that he wants to make in the summer. But yeah, even though there's not much to take away from this game, I still wanted to make a post-match video and just talk about my reactions from Chavi leaving and, how the game went. And so I am really excited for this summer. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of videos to make and talking about Hansi Flick and his summer plan and the players that he wants to bring in, the players that maybe they don't have a future at the club in Hansi Flick's opinion. And I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a big summer for Barcelona. I hope they can make the right signings and, stay within their budget, because I don't think they need to go and spend a crazy amount of money in the summer. If they make smart signings, if they make the signings that they need to make and fill the positions that they need to fill, I think they can go on and have a great season. And I hope Hansi Flick has a lot of success at the club. But as always, thank you very much for watching my video. I do appreciate it, and hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. And Visca Barca as always. And, wasn't the best season, but I hope we can all stay positive and look forward to next one, because I hope next one is a very good season and hope the summer is exciting as well. So again, thank you very much. Hope you all have a great day. Visca Barca. See you all later. Peace.